So a lot of the talk among fans and people across the league is, will the Bombers make the playoffs, which is something haven't heard for the last 5 years at least or more. I mean, how much does that filter into you guys a little bit?
You have to ask somebody else because I don't really see any of the outside stuff. So, we're focused on Saskatchewan tomorrow and winning a football game. The fact that it is, we win a football game, we control our own destiny. So that's that's how we're approaching it.
And knowing that Saskatchewan is sitting a number of their starters, is that a bit of an advantage for you guys?
I'm looking at the defensive side right now. I think Mike is down, and I think Roland was out last game. So outside of that, it's the same people. So it's a really good football team, a really well-coached football team, a physical football team. So if you're thinking about that, you're thinking about the wrong stuff. They're going to come here to try to win the football game. So we got to go out there and execute.
And Nick is out and Gavin replaces him. How do you think difficult it is to fill that shoes without Nick?
Yeah, Gavin's been a pro since he's got here. And again, from watching him over the years in Edmonton, he plays fast. He's a smart guy. He understands what's going on out there. I just talked to him a little bit. I'm really excited that he's getting an opportunity to go out there and play, especially in a stadium that he plays college games in, right? So really excited for Gavin. I think he's going to do a great job for us. You guys know how I feel about Nick. Hard to replicate what he does for us. But kind of is what it is right now.
As Judy said, they're resting some starters, and of course they got first place clinched. You guys know what that's like. How much does the rivalry, though, play into what you'll get out of them? Or no, is that not a factor?
I think rivalries and things like that are more for the storyline of the game. Okay. Whatever, I hate this word, but narrative you're trying to build about the game,
we do
right?
That, yeah.
Every team out there, they're trying to put their best foot forward. The beauty and the hard part about the game of football in North America, the NFL and the CFL, is contracts aren't guaranteed, right? So you're going out there and you're playing for your job all the time, right? So mix that with, if you want to call it pride or just being a pro, you're going to get people's best effort. And if you don't go out there and you don't play hard, speaking obviously from experience, and we've been in this situation before they're in, you don't play hard, you're going to get hurt, right? So like I said, I expect their best. Again, look at the defensive lineup. They got a lot of studs rolling out there, a lot of studs. So like I said, it's going to be a challenge.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Forgive me, I'm trying to think about how to phrase this, but for a quarterback and a receiver to be on the same page as we describe it, it feels like there's a lot of
reps
and learning that go into that. Is that fair?
Yes.
What does it mean to you to be on the same page with a receiver? And is it difficult?
I think it takes reps. It's why training camp is so important. You try to get in the base of your offense and what you're going to do, and rep those plays, right? Rep, whatever kind of system you're going to be about, whatever kind of offense you're going to be about, specifically in the pass game for me as a quarterback and the receivers, but the offensive line would say the same thing of what kind of runs you want to do and what kind of fronts they're going to see, et cetera, et cetera. So reps matter. Probably the hardest part about pro football is you don't get a ton of reps, right? During the week of practice even. But that's why it's so important. Training camp is so important. And, if you're speaking about Gavin or even the rest of the crew that we have, Gavin's done a great job since he's been here of staying on top of things, understanding why we're game planning the way we are, what's Nick's role, whether it's in the sight adjust pass game or other things that Nick does. So he's done a really good job of trying to keep up with that. And like I said, he's a smart guy. But yeah, just with everybody else, it's all about reps. You ask any quarterback, seeing the looks, seeing what kind of zones you're going to see in this league, you get a lot of zone. So the timing, the spacing, the splits, all those things matter a lot.
How does it actually work? Do the receivers come to how the quarterback likes it? Does the quarterback go to how the receivers like it? Does the young guy to the old guy, or is it somewhere in the middle?
Probably in the middle somewhere. Like Stearnsy runs a route differently than Dalton would, and Pokey runs a hatchet differently than Wheat would. It's a lot of it is trying to understand and feel out how they like to run those routes and you could try to teach them certain ways and those kind of things, but then layering on top of that coverages. What do you do versus coverage? How do you run this route versus if they're rolled your way or if they're rolled away? Is it inside leverage as a cornerback? Is it outside leverage as a cornerback? What's the halfback doing? Why is he inside? Why is he outside? All those things matter, And again, the hardest part is you don't get a ton of reps of them. So that's why I think it's very important you're at a luxury if you can stay healthy, for sure. And we've had great luck at that over the years. And we got some guys now that, Stearns played a lot of football for us. Pokey with last year as well. Obviously, Gavin's will be new with us this week, but and then Wheat's been here for a while too. So we should be, again, I have a lot of faith in those guys, and they work their tails off. Casey as well. Casey's done a good job. A lot of times he gets hidden out there at Z, but when we do bring him inside, he does a really good job, not just in the pass game, but the run game too. So.
Hey, Zach, not to double or triple down on the Nick question, but this is a guy who, if my research is right, he's missing his first game due to injury in like 3 years. So since 2022, if I'm not mistaken. He's kind of been a constant out there for you. And I guess maybe take another angle at this, how weird or whatever word you want to use is it that you're not going to see him in the huddle, because you talked about what he means to you guys on the field and in the middle of a play, but just to have him, I guess, on the field, sharing the field with him.
Yeah, I'd be lying to you if I said it wouldn't be weird or different or whatever word you want to describe it. His durability, I think, is just a credit to Nick. Obviously, there's some luck involved along the way, but I think it speaks to his professionalism and getting ready, not just during the season, but off season, of being in great shape and taking care of his body to play a long season, right? So, like I said, a testament to him. Again, all those being said, that him not being on the field is kind of out of our control right now. So, it'll be different though.
I know that there's so many scenarios at play and stuff like that. You guys are just worried about winning, but is there an importance to try and make sure you get this done this week, or try to do everything you can to get it done this week and not let it carry over another week, I guess, with all the questions that could be at play and stuff like that a week from now? How important is it to try and get this locked up this week?
I wish I could give you the answer you're looking for, but it's just about winning this game, because it's this game, and that's, if you just approach each and every week that way, I think you'll be happy with the results at the end of the season. So I have no idea what could happen next week in a scenario, but we need to focus on tomorrow, focus on execution, and like I always say, let the chips fall where they may.
Just curious, I know I asked you earlier in the week about interceptions and all that stuff, turnovers. Is there anything that you're telling yourself on the sideline or whatever? I don't know if you need reminders to yourself about how important the ball is. I know you know how important the ball is and all that stuff, but is there anything that you do, an approach you take, whether it's on the sideline or during a game or in the locker room, halftime, whatever, to, I guess, remind yourself about the importance of that and to obviously...
No, I think it just goes with preparation. When I'm doing, whether I'm walking through something, visualizing something, when you read the play off and you try to visualize what you're, about to do, given the shell, the look from the defense, I don't think it needs to be said. It's just, don't turn the football over, right? But you want to get through your progressions clean, and I think at times, you try to win the whole game in one throw, and those are things that, as you grow and gain a little more wisdom or more maturity or whatever the word is, you kind of can echo to yourself, or if you have a coach or if you have a teammate that you trust to kind of say that to you. But yeah, there's as we always say, the ball is very important. So, and like I told you, I think during the week, I'm the guy with the football making the decisions, so I got to do a better job of protecting it.
Zach, what do you want to see from the offense tomorrow and then going forward to be in the right place for the playoffs?
Whatever it takes tomorrow to win. So, you want to come in and watch the film the next day and know that you did your part. And I think if every man looks himself in the mirror and prepares that way, things work in your favor usually. So that's what it's all about, is your preparation and trying to go out there and execute.
There's a sense in the room, a couple guys said yesterday, that if this team doesn't get in its own way, it can still make a run. Is that what the belief that you have too, is that it's just take care of the ball, do the little things, and this team can still make a run?
There's a lot of factors at play, but I certainly think that we can still make a run, yeah.
What gives you that faith?
I'd never go into a game thinking that we're going to lose the game, so I don't really know exactly. Obviously, the guys in the room, got a lot of guys that have been here before, done it before. Outside of that, just being very competitive and not being okay with losing.